Hello, welcome back, and I have another video for you, this time starting the newest series I'm going to be doing, which will be my new fantasy army, Vampire Counts. I chose these guys simply because I lucked into a 8th edition Vampire Counts army book a few months ago, very low price, and at the same time was able to secure Vlad von Karstein. He is fine cast and um, partially painted. He's, if I can get him to focus, I'm not even 100% certain any base paint was put on him, or primer was put on him. So I'm gonna very carefully strip him. It's fine cast, as I said, so I get nervous trying to strip those guys. It is not good resin. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I grabbed the army book, which was just part of my collection at the time. But then Games Workshop announced this for Christmas. I have to figure out a lighting situation here. My workbench that I'm starting to use is, maybe if I turn this, not ideal, but we'll figure something out. So yeah, the Revenant Legion for Age of Sigmar Soulblight Gravelords, as it says, and it's just a really good way to get a lot of zombies, some of the new Blood Knights. There are skeletons, and then this character guy. I'm not going to keep him, and I'm probably not going to keep the skeletons. Those I'm going to sell. I already have 2 boxes of these, one mostly built of the Wargames Atlantic Classic Fantasy Skeletons. Otherwise, I was able to also very luckily get this for less than half of what it normally goes for on eBay. And once I had Vlad and I was able to get Isabella here, if I can get a, there we go. I figure, you know what, if I got the 2 of them, I may as well focus on them as the core of my army, so to speak. So this army will be based around Isabella and Vlad. As far as the 8th edition book goes, I will have a small 6th edition list ready for that, just in case I do end up playing 6th edition at some point. But it won't be using everything here, obviously, because 6th edition, much smaller game. This isn't going to be a big video because I'm going to go over all this stuff later, but right now the plan is basically for 8th edition, I am going to focus again on 3,000 points, and this time I am going to have 2 special characters, Vlad and Isabella. I can obviously just use them as basic vampire lords or hero characters, but I am going to run them as themselves, and they are going to be supported by 30 Graveguard. I do have a few more, like 30, I think I have 36 total, but 30 is where I'm starting just because I do want to have points for other things. They're going to go with a hand weapon and shield, mainly because that's how I got these guys. I'm sure a lot of people will say the great weapons are better, but I got 30 of these guys for quite a low price. That's the other thing too. This whole army was about getting the best possible deal. I went with the classic skeletons range that they, or the classic skeleton fantasy range that they do at Wargames Atlantic because they're cheap. These are again plastic kit that are 32 models per box. Pretty nice looking. They have shields in there. I haven't done that yet. And they're like 40, I think it says 42 Canadian, 42.50 per box. So 2 boxes of these, and I had 64. I'm also going to use my 3D printer here, which still haven't finished setting up this area. I've been working away at it, and tomorrow I'm going to probably take some time and clean that up, prep it for some resin. It probably needs a new FEP So I'll probably do that, get it all cleaned up. And yeah, I'm going to print off about 20 skeletons just to bulk out these 2 units. I'm only going to be using 30 or so per unit, but you can... I'll get into it when I do a review of these, because I am going to review these guys. These are interesting. I really like Wargames Atlantic, but I have something I want to talk about with these. Now, so there's going to be 2 units of skeletons. There's going to be 2 units of Direwolves. I think Direwolves are great in a unit of 10, and I could do it that way, but I decided that 2 units of 5, using them as my chaff redirectors, or if I need to, just to get around flanks and go for war machines or little missile units and whatnot, is also viable because they're quite strong. This is a test paint job I did last night. I just took about 5 minutes, well, 10 minutes, let's say 10 minutes with the contrast paints. And I think with 10 minutes of work, I got 90% of the work done. I'm probably going to go with Nuln Oil or something similar, you know, just my own wash over the bone, and then give it a bright white paint job, touch up a few spots, but otherwise this is Dark Oath Flesh, which I might water down with the medium just a bit, just to get it a bit thinner looking. Then is the Vulpes pink, and Black Templar. And I think it looks really great. I might use some brown in there too, just to break up the fur color, but yeah, probably what I'm thinking for the eyes. I'm going to test it out on something else first before I do it on here, but I might just do like a nice bright silver eye, and then use, I have some Spirit Stone red left over somewhere in my, one of my painting stashes. Actually, it might be like right here. I'm just going to show it to you just in case it's not a thing here. This is something they had a few years ago. I don't even know if they sell it anymore. I don't think they do. But this is pretty cool over silver. It's just designed as a way to do cheap, fast Spirit Stones. There was a few colors. I think it was red, green, blue. And I bought the red because that's the color I use on mine, my Eldar. So I'm going to probably do that for their eyes, so they can have some cool bright eyes that have a gem effect, and then do some lighting effects around the sockets afterwards. And I'm also going to have ghouls, 20. All total, I mean, I spent a fair amount of money getting this army, but if you look at the price of even buying these things new when they were, you know, new models, current, I would say, you know, going with these guys and then the 3D prints, that's a significant savings over GW, because even at the cheapest point, when they were getting I think they were still, they might have been 10 skeletons of the last version until Age of Sigmar took them. But Age of Sigmar, I think, was doing 20 for about 70 Canadian dollars. For a little bit more than that, I got 64 of these, and I'm going to be able to print some more, and then still have leftover bits. These guys here, I paid about half of what GW would have charged me at the time. The Direwolves, again, these guys, everything in general was quite cheap. This thing here was the most expensive single purchase by quite a bit. And I'm going to recoup, I would say, about a third of the price once I get rid of these 2 units. I just want the zombies and the Blood Knights, because buying those 3 box sets, 2 times 20 zombies and the Blood Knights, is still more than this box set cost me. So, I mean, right there, basically, I saved a little bit doing that, and then I'm going to get my money back. And, you know, if I get $50 for these 2, I'd be pretty happy, is what I'm saying. Because, yeah, I didn't put in a huge amount of money into this so far. Oh, actually, you know what? Just 1 second. Just 1 second here. I figure this out. Yeah, that just magically appeared, I assume, because I realized I could pause the video instead of trying to, like, reach for something. I forgot I bought a corpse card as well. So the goal for this army, I'm just going to go over it right now, is going to be Vlad, Isabella, the corpse cart, a necromancer that I'm going to print, and a vampire that I'm going to print. Both of them are from a Highland Miniatures Patreon release 2 months ago, 3 months ago, actually probably 3 months ago. I think it was their Halloween stuff was when they did some skeletons and vampires and stuff. Then there's going to be 2 units of 30 skeletons, of which one has spears, the other is going to be sword and board, and the skeletons I'm printing are going to be 2 variations of what Highland has offered, and I got through Patreon. There's going to be 20 Crypt Ghouls, 2 units of 5 Direwolves. Everything has commands. So these guys here are going to have their... In 6th edition, he was called a Ghast. I forget what he's called. The Champion, anyways. In 8th edition, they each are going to have the Champion Direwolf. There's going to be 30 of them. Oh, one of the skeletons is going to have the Screaming Banner. And these guys are going to have the... What is it called? The Razor Standard. Because, as I said, I got a deal buying them this way instead of buying them through GW at... I think everything's like $70 for 20, and I'm actually hearing they're going up in price again. So if I hadn't bought them at the time and just waited, I'm pretty sure I'd be paying like $80 for 20 of them versus I think I paid about $95 with shipping to get these guys, all 36 of them. So I'll take the sword and board. That just means that they're in heavy armor with a shield. They still have killing blow, and the Razor Standard pops them up to having a -1 added to the armor save that or taken from the armor saves people will be using. And at the end of the day, it's vampires. It's all about kind of just tying things down while your characters and some of the better units do the work anyways. Then there'll be the zombies. I think it's going to be about probably 25 or 30 in a unit. The rest will be just for raising up. The Blood Knights, obviously, they're going to have the Blood Keep Standard. And I'm probably, after that, I don't know, I'm probably going to use some of my old models. A mix of Empire and maybe Bretonnian. I'm not sure what exactly yet. Just a good mix of units anyways to make some Spirit Host. I really like the Spirit Host that GW are selling right now. I think that they're super cool. But they're also flimsy and way too expensive for what they are, in my opinion, because they are flimsy, and as nice as they look, those are not like, you know, sculpts that, in my opinion, if you've seen them take the skill that, you know, some of their stuff does, it's not like they're massively detailed. They're just kind of wavy plastic lines that come together into a face and a couple of arms. Cool looking, but I can just, you know, use Hexwraith and make some cool looking green glowy ghost guys. And I've done that before with Lord of the Rings for the, what do they call, the Army of the Dead. And I know it looks good on the table, so I'll just make a few bases of Spirit Hosts myself. I don't think there's anything else to really say about this. I was going to actually do a printed Tomb King's army, and I'm still going to. But because I fell into this book, I just decided I would jump forward with this first. The Tomb Kings actually are a bit more in-depth, just because I have to print chariots, and the entire army's printed, so it's just something I'm picking away at. And I'm just putting things away, like I do with all my printed armies, until such time as they're all ready, and then I just paint them up quick. Not that I've ever actually fully painted up a printed army. I do only have one that's done, and it's just about to get finished. That'll be a different project, but we'll get into that. That's another project. I'm going to try to do multiple projects at a time this year instead of just the one and focus on it, because I think that'll break up the monotony of what this is becoming on my channel. I just noticed I'm doing the same like 2 or 3 things over and over again. So there's going to be some building with these guys, and I might even stream just on Twitch building and painting these guys, because again, I'm going to go for contrast paints and the like. I might try to get some of those Army Painter speed paints, but I have almost all the contrast paints, and I definitely have lots of Skeleton Horde to get these guys done. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Either way, it's going to be fun to do this. I'm looking forward to it, and thank you very much for watching, and everybody have a great day.